sales tax and a $2 million decrease in our property tax, I don't feel confident that we can do what we need to do with that. And that's the primary objection. That's what we're asking for, the equal dollar amount for this year as we had last year when it comes to the property tax. We didn't.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Bailey, your responsibility as the council budget manager and of the financial management committee is it your total responsibility to make those projections?
It is my responsibility to provide to the school system projections of the local revenues, which is basically sales tax projections and property tax. And I did so based upon the trends of what had occurred this year and historical trends. And I think if you look at the projections I was making for when I made those figures, it was the April and May sales tax had not come in, and both those have substantially exceeded the amounts I used to project it for this year. And I said that what it appeared to be the actual sales tax and property tax would be for this year based on the trends that were occurring so far in the year. And right now it's exceeding those trends.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Jones?
May I make another comment?
Yeah, yes, sir.
If you look at the new financial management plan, you will find that, I think it's page 6, that it says that it is the job of this budget committee here to project the revenue. And if there's a problem with that. But I believe at the bottom of that page, you will find that highlighted. And it's the budget committee as a whole does that. It doesn't say, and it says, if you go back and look also at that same page at the very top, it says that the first budget we present will be on revenue that we have projected. And I know there's a new state law out that says that the county sets the revenue, but in the financial management plan that was written for us here says that we will make a budget based on our revenue projections. Doesn't say who makes them, but then at the very bottom, if you look, it says that the budget committee will be the ones responsible for that.
And it also doesn't say what the components of that projection are.
I know, I agree. You know, I know we're disagreeing.
No, we're not disagreeing. We have a projection of a total revenue dollar, and that projection is made up of a couple of components or more.
It is made up of two.
And the financial management plan doesn't say what those components are or how that projection is constructed. Is that right? You agree?
Totally agree with you on that, but we also know that in the property tax, I think Mr. Bailey makes his projections based on 96% collection rate, if I'm not mistaken. And we know that property tax there's a way legally of getting the money back to the schools and to the county if someone doesn't pay their property tax. But as inflation goes up, sales are gonna go down, we know that.
I don't think anybody ever anticipated a discussion like this when in writing the financial management plan.
Well, we had no part in writing the plan, so, but we know that you are in control. We know that the county commission is in control of how much money we get. But I would not be doing my job if I were not here expressing for our teachers.
Don't disagree at all, Mr. Jones, Chairman Jones, you're doing the best job you can, and I agree to that. And I certainly agree to you that you're taking that position. I don't think there's any consideration of our position, but that's a different story. But I certainly appreciate what you're saying. The one additional comment I would like to make, and maybe have you comment on it, is that and sales taxes are divided among school systems when we get them and when you get them. They're already divided. The general purpose school fund is divided on the ADA as I understand it, and is therefore $1 spent in there for the Sullivan County school systems is $1 spent in the city school systems. Is that correct?
Make that statement again on our general purpose.
I believe Sullivan County gets 45, round numbers, 45% of every dollar. But for you to spend $1, it means we spend $1 also in the cities. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And also,
so your salary equalization plan will provide that equal amount of money for the cities, and should they choose to, they could give it to teachers or whatever.
The salary equalization plan will provide that amount of money only from the property tax. The sales tax is, by state law, has to be given 50% to the schools.
Yes.
So the only money we're debating on now is the property tax. And yes, if you agree to give the $2 million back in the property tax, the city school system will get additional dollars.
Additional dollars, okay,
And
that's
nobody's trying to hide that. I mean,
That's not-
but as I said last time I was here, I still feel that the city residents are county taxpayers, and we need to find ways that we can increase teacher salaries.
Well-
And we're working hard with our budget right now. It will be streamlined even more as we get resignations this week and this month.
I think you would agree that I've attempted to work with you on the salary equalization plan, and I don't disagree with what you've done. Matter of fact, I think the methodology is very good, but I would remind you, as you remind me, that city taxpayers, I live down there, so I get 2 tax bills, so I know that.
I understand that.
But I would remind you that you also have 80,000 constituents in the non-incorporated areas that are generating that sales tax dollars that are collected in those cities. So, it's a pretty fair system.
We just disagree on the sales tax. If you recall, last spring, even the state government shut things down. They changed the salary increases for teachers because they didn't know sales tax was gonna come in as good when COVID-19 hit. Even here within these offices, there was concern.
I'm not aware of that, so that's not.
Yes, it was changed last year. Last year in January, it was a 4%, I believe, was a projected salary increase, and it was changed to 2% last summer from the state. And because initially, the numbers were looking good, but when COVID-19 hit, things started going downhill.
For about 3 months.
I know, but they didn't know that was gonna happen, so they made their projections based on that. And now, if we look at the sales tax increases, I still don't understand how we could cut $2 million in sales tax, or increase it $2 million. When, according to the paper this morning, I think we're just, and according to your chart there, you're slightly over $1 million in 10 months that we have received this year above what was estimated.
I don't believe the budget the county commission is considering is based on projections, is based on the needs of the Sullivan County Department of Education to run our school system. I don't think that we're trying to set your budget based on what the available income is, which is indication, I believe you just said, our revenues are up, so we ought to get the money. But I'll give you the last word.